I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those
happy days. The weekend comes, let's not go home.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet,
Just knock it off, you scum bucket.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to make stays.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with the bloodstain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about it.
Happy days.
It's just one of those,
Happy days.
it's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to make stays.
Feel like shit. My suggestion is to keep your distance. 'Cause right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
My day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something free. Give me something free. I hope you know I'm like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is a case of mistaken identity, you know? See, now this here
Not Robert.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 110 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. How is everyone doing this fine Sunday evening? I hope you've all had a great weekend. I myself had a fantastic weekend, of course, especially with Saturday, which, of course, will be the main topic of today's episode. Let me see who's in the chat just now, just see if it's all familiar faces. And also, I hope that video, the connection anyway, was not too bad or anything like that at all. Because I did see it was kind of like slowing down here and there, but hopefully I might be all right with that. But anyway, Ugly Truth is with us. How you doing, Ugly Truth? Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Ooh, the Saint returns, or Saint Harrison is in the chat with us. How you doing, sir? Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. We also have the lovely English Rose in the chat. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation, as per usual. We have Roscoe in the chat with us. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Inshallah, Streaky Bacon. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Daniel Doom is with us. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. That lighting is better, Chief. Excellent. Well, that's good to hear. Yes, it's relatively sunny over here. It's been sunny all day today, actually. In fact, yesterday was pretty sunny too. Although yesterday morning it wasn't heavily raining or anything like that at all, but there were maybe like sprinkles of showers here and there. But throughout the day yesterday, the weather was actually pretty decent, and actually got much better weather throughout the days within Stirling. So that was all good and dandy. So Mouse Cat is with us. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. And that seems to be it for now, which is good to see. 21 people watching the show already, which of course is fantastic. Hopefully there'll be more people coming along. After all, I've shared the stream on Twitter, Gab, Telegram, of course, and I see a lot of other people have shared the stream as well, which of course for people that did that, thank you very much for doing so. Joe Marsh is with us. Joe Marsh-like. How you doing, Joe? Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. Right then, I think I'll just get right into the topic at hand here. Now, this will be the only topic I'll be discussing today, and depending on, it'll probably be like a long topic to cover, but depending on what time that topic comes to a close today and what time I'm at within the show, I'll probably stick around for maybe another few minutes, and then I'll be off. Enjoy the rest of my Sunday evening, and of course everyone else as well. Although that being said, I think Ragnar Ironspear will be streaming at 7, so of course I'll post the link in the chat later on when the time comes. And I think that's pretty much it so far when it comes to any streams. I'm sure either Scott's Armor or Resisting the Lies will be streaming later on, even after Ragnar Iron Spear. So I'll see if I can dig them out and then post the links in the chat as well. See from there. Let's see here. Let me have a look and see. Picking Guys, 1972. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. I'm Oasis in the morning. I see what you did there. Right then, let's get right into it, shall we, with today's episode. I know it may come off as a bit kind of, well, not really last minute. 'Cause normally what I would do in terms of setting up streams would be a bit earlier in the day, so about 10, maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. But again, I just thought I would have a chill Sunday, and then I would post anything like that at all later on. So anyway, we're here now, doing Mood of the Nation at 5 p.m. on a Sunday. Let's just get right into it. So yesterday, the 1st of October, I don't think I'm going to need this anymore, actually, now I think of it. Yesterday, the 1st of October, was the second annual PA Scotland conference, which was actually a lot bigger turnout than last year. Last year, I believe it was 36, maybe 37 people that went there. Of course, being the first ever conference with PA Scotland, it was actually really good stuff. This time around, I think there was about 60, maybe 70 people there, which again is really good stuff to see. So it's nice to see that the PA Scotland conferences, despite the fact being the second year in a row, is getting a lot bigger and bigger and bigger. So hopefully next year, or maybe a few years from now, it will be even more bigger. But let's hope for next year it'll be much bigger than it was this year, even though the turnout for this year was actually fantastic. I'll be right back in just a moment. There's something I need to drag up. I won't show it just yet, but but when I tell the story of what happened with yesterday, I'll showcase it once the time comes. So I'm going to pop this here. Right. Hopefully it's not too dirty. I don't know if I should have maybe cleaned it before, but I don't think it's that bad. But anyway, I'm back. So right, let's get right into it. So the PA conference. Well, when I say PA conference, obviously the PA Scotland conference that happened yesterday. This time around, I think last year we held it in Livingston, I think it was. This time around, it was a lot easier for people who lived in the central region, because yesterday, as you saw at the Telegram post earlier today, it was hosted in Stirling, which is pretty fitting considering, we have the Stirling Castle. There's a lot of historical monuments, historical architecture in Stirling. So again, I think it's pretty ideal to have the conference like that, especially the venue we were at was actually fantastic. I've walked past that place a few times in the past, but to actually be there for the day, absolutely fantastic. I'm sure people have seen images of the hall we were in. It was just absolutely fantastic. Even with all the portraits around us, it was just great. Very ideal for a conference like this. What was I going to say? A bit of trivia with the building we were at. Now, with this building, at this point, it's a hotel. I believe it is. It's a hotel. There's like a leisure or health building that's within the hotel itself. Obviously, for people who might want to go swimming or do any type of. I don't know if it has a gym or something like that, but usually for hotels, they'll have something like that for any leisure purposes and all of that. But historically speaking, it used to be I'm not sure if it was a primary school or if it was a high school. It was either one of the two, but it used to be a school nonetheless. And even at first, when we went into the building, so we were walking through the corridor to where the venue was actually going to be taking place in, with of course, the big hall. As we were walking towards it, we noticed that there were some signs on the walls for next to certain doors that had geography, history, art, and so on and so forth. And we were just like, what's all that about? And then, of course, we found out later on that, of course, the building itself used to be a school. Then it then turned into, I'm not sure if it turned into an actual full-blown library first, or if it was converted into offices, or vice versa. But it was either one of the two before, after it became a school. And then, of course, now it became a hotel for people to stay at. So again, really nice building to go to. And for people that missed the conference yesterday, I think they definitely missed out. But hopefully those people who missed out, they'll come along for next year's conference, or a PA conference, that is. Good afternoon, Chief and all. Mark Hasduck, how you doing? Thank you very much or Hasdak, I should say. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. And our pal, thank you very much as well. Right, so this would have been early in the morning. So for me, I, for the first time, was part of the security team, which of course, I was happy to volunteer to do it for, but of course, for the day, I got a little bit more nervous, like going along, because obviously, when it comes to security purposes for a venue or an event like this, obviously, you want to make sure everything's working smoothly. There's no any detractors coming along, trying to stop the venue or anything like that at all. But nothing like that whatsoever. There were no any hassles from the general public, nor that they would be interested in what we were doing anyway. The staff, how many were there, Chief? I think about 60, maybe 70 people that were there, which of course definitely a lot more than how many were there last year's PA Scotland conference. But there was definitely a lot more. It was around about that amount. Sorry, as I was saying, so there was no any hassle, there was no any problems, everything worked out very smoothly. I think looking back on it, well, actually, no, maybe not looking back on it. When I was maybe there, I thought maybe it was a bit, and I'm sure Laura, Sam, and everyone else who was at the Spring PA conference this March, or this past March, kind of felt the same way, where it was all working, it was all running smoothly, no hassles or anything like that at all. But maybe it was running too smoothly, so maybe there might be a catch to it. But no, nothing like that whatsoever. There were no problems or anything like that at all. Everything was fine, hunky-dory throughout the day, which was fantastic. The Scottish conference looked good despite being in Scotland. There's St. Harrison giving out his anti-Scottish rhetoric there, but I know you're only joking with that stuff. I would never say that when it comes to the English conferences, but that's just me. But anyway, hold on one sec. Just want to double check something here. Nah, it's fine. No worries. No, it's fine. No worries. Okay, just double checking something there, but it's fine. So, throughout the morning, so for myself and a few others got there really early in the morning. So, well, not early. It was about 9:30. Well, but just before 9:30, everyone got there. So because I'm part of the security team, we were all supposed to be there at a certain time. Obviously, we want everyone to be there on time so that everyone can do whatever they're supposed to be doing for their job purposes of security. So myself and another gentleman whose name I won't mention, obviously, because they're not a public figure, our job was to go out the front building at the car park just to make sure the people who were coming to the event, they are who they are. And of course, they were coming to get their parking spaces, let them know that go into the building to get registered, that they're there, kind of an idea. And even with that, again, no problems whatsoever. So there was no any like hassles or anything like that at all. There might have been a couple of times where the gentleman that I was with was just like, "Oh, like, do you recognize them?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I recognize them. I've seen them before," whether it be certain past events or maybe during out activities within PA Scotland. But again, no problems with that whatsoever. So it made the job a lot easier. When I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I might be jinxing myself, but this job seems to be quite easy to say the least." But yeah, everything ran smoothly with that. So everyone got there, everyone who was attending to be there. Like I said, it was about maybe just under 70 people that might have been there. I'm not entirely too sure, but it was roughly that amount. So we all got there, got to the venue. There wasn't like a buffet, but there was like a tea and coffee, of course, for people that wanted something to have, just for the time being before the actual conference started. There were, of course, what do you call them? Like stalls for people. So obviously there's stalls for Claymore books. There were stalls for Clean and Pure. There was also a stall for, I think there was for Grandma Towler's tea, if I'm not mistaken. Again, just for if there was people that were interested in getting an item there, whether it be a soap from Clean and Pure or a book from Claymore Books, so on and so forth, that is there for people to have, basically, which was really good. I was maybe like that close away of getting a copy of How It Was Done by Steve Smith from Claymore Books. And I had a little smell at some of the soaps from Clean and Pure, and I was just like, wow, some of them are actually really decent. I think one of them was called All Deep Fried. No, they were not deep fried. Ugly Truth. Some of this, I think one soap in particular I smelt was called, I might be wrong in saying this, I think it was called The Highlander, if I'm not mistaken. Really nice. It was actually the first time I've actually got up and actually smelt the soaps. Because obviously they would lay out some of the soaps for people to maybe smell for themselves and give it a try if they like them. And if they're interested, they can maybe buy a soap now, or maybe later on, if they're again interested, they can go onto the website and so on. But no, it was really good stuff. And maybe next time, when I'm at a future event or anything like that at all, and if they got stalls there, I'll definitely see if I can maybe get myself another soap, or maybe buy myself a copy of How It Was Done by Steve Smith. That was the book that was talked about on the show when Kenny Smith was on for episode 88. I remember that. So anyway, so that was that. Everyone got there. We had 6 speakers at the conference. I think I have my notes here of like, so the 3 first speakers were from PA Scotland, just there, and then there was another 3. So the first 2 were Sam, Mark Collett, and there was like a special guest speaker who I won't mention their name just yet. I will say that just now, even though it's already been said with a Telegram post. I just want to make sure who were the special guests. I mean, I know who they were, but I just want to make sure I get their names right, if they don't mind me doing so. One sec. Got my notes here with that as well. Let me see. Right, so, and what I'll also do is when it comes to the speakers, I'll also say like who came up as like, chronological order type of idea, and then we'll start off from there. So the first speaker was a gentleman by the name of Indistinguishable. I hope I pronounced that right. Very nice guy, top class gentleman of a person he is. He was the first speaker of the day, and of course he gave a really good speech. I really did enjoy that. It was a good speech for being the very first speech of the day. After that, the second speaker, if I can see, now the second speaker produces songs for PA Scotland. Now it's not Mean Peen by when it comes to that. It's another gentleman by the name of, I think it's Even Keel. Even Keel, some of you might have heard the song that was on PA Scotland's Odysee channel. I think the song is called For Our People. I'll just have a quick look at that just to make sure. But he was the second speaker for the conference of today, which is, and from what I gather, I was even going to say as well, when it comes to these speeches, I think they will be uploaded not now, but later on throughout the week. Maybe it's going to be like bit by bit, and of course they'll be on the official PA Scotland Odysee channel, if I remember correctly with that. Now, if I have a look at this, when it comes to Even Keel, well, his recent song, Even Keel, uploaded was a song called Rise, which you could see that on the PA Scotland Odysee page. Then the one prior to that, yeah, the song he made prior to that was called For My People. That was uploaded 3 months ago. So he was and of course, even with that, he was the second speaker of the day. Again, good speech. I think it was maybe his first time giving a speech. I'm not entirely too sure, but for his first speech, it was really good stuff nonetheless with that. And then, of course, we had the sorry, excuse me. Then, of course, we had the third speaker for the day, which was a gentleman by the name of Gordon Freeman. Some of you might have heard of Gordon Freeman before. He was featured on the recent episode of PA Young Scots. I think he was on a show called PA Patter with Cyborg not too long ago. But again, I think, in my personal opinion, a lot of people would say when it comes to these previous PA conferences in the past, when it comes to like, oh, which one is the best speaker or best speeches, I should say. I would say my personal opinion, hands down, and this might be a bit of a spoiler, but I think hands down, Gordon Freeman's speech was probably my personal favorite of the speeches. Don't get me wrong, all the other speeches were great, absolutely outstanding work from everyone. But I think in terms of like who was, in my opinion, who gave the best speech of the day, it was probably Gordon Freeman, in my opinion, with that. One of them was St. Harrison. Chief Ray, I can't find entropy to give you £3 to share my own video from this morning. It's full of Europeans, fat people, and casual racism. Dear. Dear. No worries, St. Harrison. No worries. Well, I was going to say when it comes to shilling, as I mentioned, what I was about to say just real quick. If you guys would like to support my work financially, you can find the entropy link, which is pinned within the chat. You can even also find a PayPal link directly, which is in the description down below. Of course, any donation received by you guys would be greatly appreciated. That would go directly towards my work, that being Mood of the Nation, future videos I might want to produce, or I definitely want to produce. I've got a lot of ideas in the works, or even when it comes to activism, it could be helpful in the long run, which I would greatly appreciate that. But I just thought I could throw that out there in this case. No guilt, only pride. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation, and also yourself, Toby Radley. Thank you very much. Sounds like it was good, and good on you all that went and supported the fight for our people. Well, thank you very much. Not guilt, only pride. Thank you very much for that comment. Really appreciate that. So we go through, and also from English Rose, please feel invited to like the stream and help the channel. Indeed, thank you very much for that, English Rose. I greatly appreciate that. So that was the 3 speeches done, again, by Indistinguishable, by Evan Keel, and also by Gordon Freeman. Again, really good ones. I actually would say not only Gordon Freeman's speech was a really good speech, I actually think it was the best speech to end the first half of the day. Because obviously after that we and I don't know if we went on a break afterwards or if we did the awards ceremony afterwards, but sounds like the coughing has gone, mate. Hope you had a hot toddy. I mean, I might have a bit of a cough here and there, but yeah, it wasn't like as bad as back in the previous episode. My cold is getting a little bit better now. So, but thank you for that, Bill Athling. Thank you very much for that, and Shinobi, thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. So I'm trying to think. I like Gordon Freeman. I like Gordon Freeman too. He's a very determined individual. He really is a great example of with people not only becoming a member of Patriotic Alternative, but a nationalist in general. I think he's a great example of people who people should become if they want to become a nationalist regarding to the movement. Ragnar Iron Spear, thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. I've got a really shitty cold too. Ken Downer, I know, Arpel, I know. Anyway, let's see. So I'm trying to think. This is going to really annoy me now with this part of the conference, because I'm not sure if we had a break first or we did the awards ceremony and then went on for a break. So I'm not entirely too sure. I think what we did was we had the awards ceremony first, and then we had a break. It was about maybe like an hour and a half break or something like that. But or it might have been either one or the or. But basically, I'll say just for this case, I might be wrong in saying, but I think what we did with this part here of the conference, we did 3 speeches already. I think we went on to doing the awards ceremony. Now, with PA Scotland, we've talked about giving certain awards to certain people because, well, I think it was going to be just like one award as I thought it would be. This award is basically the Regional Officers Activist of the Year Award. This award is basically given out to people who've done a lot of great work for not just for PA Scotland, but for PA in general, a lot of activities when it comes to their own fellow regions and doing a lot of work, whether it be leafleting, litter picking, or banner drops, going to events and so on and so forth with that. I read one of Gordon's articles on the PA website last week. Yeah, good man. He really is. In fact, I really need to read more of these PA articles because there's actually a series of articles. I'm not too sure who's written these articles, but they're mainly about like icons within the left or liberalism. So that would be people like Pol Pot or Castro, those types of people. There might be interesting articles to read. I should maybe give them a read at some point. So we have the award ceremony now. I cast my vote for a certain person like back when it was first announced, because I thought the award was going to be given out to one person. Kind of an idea. And Resisting the Lies in the chat. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. And also, Resisting the Lies, if you don't mind me saying, it was actually a pleasure to meet you in person for the first time. I was quite surprised myself, to be quite honest, because this might be a bit of a spoiler for this part of of the stream. It was not like a major spoiler, but during the speeches, so myself and the gentleman I talked about at the start of the stream in terms of what I was talking about, he had to go away and look out for a certain person. So I was then in charge to watch the door and make sure if anyone would be getting okay with that. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I look fucking handsome, Chief. I mean, I wouldn't go no homos, but I mean, I'll definitely say it was a pleasure meeting you in the person. So, but anyway, I'll get back to that real quick. So, he came back to the door, and of course, I opened it, and of course, there was the gentleman I spoke about. He talked about, oh, have you noticed that a guy named DJ came through, and I'm just like, no, DJ, like, no, not at all. He was, oh, okay, I'll just go back and check. So then he went along. I shut the door quietly as there was a speech going on at the same time. I sat down and I was just thinking, DJ, like, first of all, who could be DJ, especially coming late during the conference? Because I thought there'd be like one special guest speaker, and I didn't think there would be like another one. But I was thinking, I'm just like who the hell would be DJ? Like the only person in terms of our circles, who would be named DJ was like Resisting the Lies, and then it kind of dawned on me, and I'm thinking, nah, like I don't know if it... sorry, excuse me. I'm not entirely too sure if maybe if he would come along, especially maybe at this late in time. But I thought maybe it might be. I was like, no, maybe it's like another DJ. Like maybe it might not be that DJ. But sure enough, door was knocking. I opened the door. I opened the check, and it was a gentleman, and it was DJ, who I then found out shortly after it was actually Resisting the Lies, and I was like, that's fantastic. So great to see you in the flesh, and hopefully in the near future I'll get to see you in person again at some point. So, but yeah, really nice to meet you, man. Really nice to meet you. So anyway, going back to a little bit with the conference, the award ceremony. So the award ceremony kicked off. And of course, it was going to be like the first one, which I thought was going to be the one and only award for, of course, from either activists within PA Scotland. And the first winner of that award was Meme Peme, which I was like, you know what? Meme Peme is a really good guy. He's a great host for PA Talk with Cyborg. I thought, yeah, absolutely well deserved. I like Meme Peme, so God damn it. Sorry, folks, one sec. If I could maybe get a drink with this. Who gave you the coof? Well, it's weird because at the start of the stream when I'm talking, it's fine, but the more I'm talking, that's when like the coughing starts to come up again. So yeah, I'm not like feeling 100% better, but I'm getting there. So I actually might want to refill that at some point, but anyway. So yeah, Meme Peme was the first winner to receive his award, and it was actually fantastic. I would have thought, again, this was in my mindset that I thought it was only going to be one award, and that was going to be it. And I thought maybe it would have given to someone else who I thought, not to say that Meme Peme didn't deserve the award. He's again a great guy, and I was happy for him. He won the award. I just thought there was someone else from my region, from Central region, that I thought maybe deserved an award as well because of all the hard work he does, especially when it comes to leafleting. I don't know if he minds. Maybe I'll not say his name just in case he doesn't want his name to be out there, just in case with that. Although he is fully out there type of idea. But for those who follow PA Scotland on Telegram, if you've seen posts about this young gentleman from Scotland Central has been giving out lots and lots of leaflets throughout this particular area, you'll know exactly who I'm on about, and that's a guy who I voted for, and I thought maybe he would win the award with that. So, say a chief, it didn't deserve. I'm not going to say that. No, I will not say that. Any guy from PA Scotland who wins an award, I think they do deserve it because they do give out a lot of hard work when it comes to that. So that was that, and I was happy for Mean Peem. And by the way, the two people who were giving out the awards, it was Kenny Smith and Claire, or our Claire. So that was that. And then, of course, it moved on to the second award. And I was like, wait a minute, second award? I thought there was only going to be one. But then, of course, I was interested. I'm like, okay, so maybe it might be this gentleman who I voted for to receive the award. Well, it was the second award, Claire read out. And I'll just showcase it on the screen just now. I don't know if that might be coming in clear, but there's my award. If you can maybe, again, I don't know if the camera does justice. PA Scotland Regional Officers Activist of the Year 2022, Stephen Thompson. Although she read out my pseudonym, Chief Moody, but then had to say my actual name, but which didn't bother me whatsoever because again, it's public knowledge at this point anyway. So. But yes, I was the second winner for this award, best wallpaper. I wish. This caught me off guard. I never expected this whatsoever. Again, I kind of felt like for the past couple of months I was maybe kind of slacking a little bit because I wasn't really doing a lot of activism because I was busy doing with work at the time. There was so many things going on in my life. I mean, my nan, I'll just say it just now because this was something that I've been kept private about. But at the time, my nan was in the hospital for like quite a bad condition. But she's out of the hospital now and she's feeling a lot better. So she was there for quite a long time in the hospital. So I thought I would also help out and take care with that. And then, of course, I've fallen ill with the cold, as you can all tell from the sound of my voice. And I mean, not that I didn't want to do any activism. It was just because there were so many things going on at that point. I thought, right, I'll just focus on that. And then once all that's taken care of, I can go back to doing activism. So I am happy I got this award. I really loved it. Now, thank you, Arpal. Thank you very much. Well done, Chief. Unfortunately, you never got the Wallpaper of the Year award. You know what? I mean, there's always ideas that can be thrown out. So maybe, just maybe, that maybe in the future they might do a special award for best wallpaper, and obviously I'll be the instant winner for that. But no, in all seriousness, even the awkward thing about it, receiving the award, of course, well, me and Peem did it as well, but we had to go up, obviously, to receive the award, shook hands with Claire and then Kenny Smith. And then Claire, when I walked up, Claire asked me, "Oh, do you have any words to say for the award?" And I'm just like, yeah. It was like hesitant, but I thought I can't just go up and then receive it and then do a Joe Pesci, just be like, thank you, and then just like walk off and back to my seat. No, I gave like a short speech. Of course, me being in front of a lot of people, obviously my nerves started kicking. I was kind of spazzing out a little bit. I don't know if they might release the footage of that. I mean, I don't mind if they do, but I think it would be kind of funny when that does come out, because I tried to make a joke about like an old Michael Jackson joke where I was like, oh, I want to thank God, I want to thank Jesus, I want to thank my pet monkey Bubbles. But because of the nerves kicking in, because I was speaking to a lot of people in front of me, obviously I started messing up my words and I'm just like, fuck. So that was a sign of like, right, I'll just do it short and it's sweet. Thank you very much for this award. I actually can't believe it. I never expected this. And I'll do a Joe Pesci and just say thank you and just go back to my seat. And yeah, that was that. But no, if I actually can, because I kind of, looking back on it, receiving this award, I don't think I said what I should have said in regards to receiving this award. To the people who, and I think with the voting for this, I think it was mainly from PA Scotland alone. I don't know if any other regions were given the option with that. But if it's just for PA Scotland, for people who vote for me to receive this award, I want to thank you all very much with that. I also, although that being said, I actually do think the person. I don't know if maybe I should deserve this award. I think there are people within PA Scotland that actually deserve it more than myself, but especially the gentleman I spoke about, who's in the same region as I am, who's doing a lot of great work giving out leaflets throughout particular areas. That particular leaflet actually is the white minority leaflet, the one that we were giving out during drama back in, I think it was April, if I'm not mistaken. But no, he's been just I think a joke was made on PA Talk that he would be ideal for like a postman, and I couldn't agree more. Just throwing, well, not throwing, but just posting these leaflets like door after door after door. I actually think a guy like him deserves this award than I do, but come on, man, you deserve it. Well, I mean, yeah, fair enough. So, but yeah, but honestly, again, from the bottom of my, oh, there's Mean Peem there. Chad Mooney, it was great to see you at the conference, mate. It was great to see you too, Mean Peem. Hopefully, I'll get to see you in a future event in the near future with that. So, but no, honestly, for people, especially in my region, again, who vote for me to receive this, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I didn't say this at the conference because, again, I was I was speaking to a lot of people, just like with the spring conference, and of course the nerves started kicking, kind of spazzing out a bit. So I thought I'll make it short and sweet, just go back to my chair. But no, like I should have said this at the conference. Thank you all very much for the bottom of my heart, honestly. And then there was a third award that was given out, again, read out by Claire and Kenny Smith, and that award was given to Gordon Freeman, which, again, no problems with that whatsoever. Gordon Freeman is a top-notch guy. He absolutely deserves any award that's been given. I mean, to be fair, a lot of people from PA Scotland deserve to get an award for all their hard work within PA Scotland. And for Gordon Freeman, obviously, that was fantastic. Not only did he give a great speech, but he also received an award for his work within PA Scotland. And again, I think that's very, very much deserved for Gordon Freeman. So hopefully next year, I'm sure they'll be given another award ceremony for next year's conference, and I would like to see other people receive an award because, again, I think there are many people within PA Scotland who do a lot of great work, and I think they do deserve an award here and there. Honestly, I do think that, strongly do believe that. So that was the award ceremony done. Now, before we went, I think we went to break afterwards with that, but the awards were given out before we went to break. Kenny had a certain announcement to make for people. Now, I'm sure people have already seen this on Telegram, but what to do is I'm going to see if I can maybe read out what Kenny posted about this, because obviously there was a big celebration. Everyone give a standing ovation, a round of applause. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Hold on a sec. And honestly, anytime that had to be done, I think that was probably the best moment to do that. So let me see if I can. Let me see here. Yes. From Kenny Smith. Had an awesome day yesterday at the Scottish Conference. Fantastic numbers at a tremendous venue. Superb speakers. All the delegates were quality and networked brilliantly. But to top it all, Claire said yes to my proposal. Yes, that's right. Kenny got on his knee, gave the ring out to Claire, asked her proposal for marriage, and of course Claire said yes. So, like I said, there was a big standing ovation. Everyone was happy about that. That was a great way to end off what I would say is the first part of the conference, being the three speakers, the award ceremony, and of course with that just now. So yeah, really good stuff. I think what we can do is, if you guys wouldn't mind, if we can pop in like a 14 in the chat for both Kenny and Claire, which, again, I felt bad because I never really said this at the conference because there was so much to do and there was many people there. But Kenny and Claire, if you both are watching, I don't know if they are, but if they are watching, again, congratulations to the both of you. I think you both make a fantastic couple, not just for PA, but for nationalism in general. Again, a great example of how again, if there's people within the movement who are interested, again, be prime examples of that. So again, I'm happy for you both, and you deserve all the happiness you both get within life, honestly. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat with 14s in the chat. That's fantastic, everyone. Thank you for that. 14 in the chat for both Kenny and for Claire. Challenging Laura and Sam for PA's power couple. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm not entirely too sure with that, but at the end of the day, I'm happy for them nonetheless with that. It was fantastic stuff with that. Congratulations, Kenny and Claire, by No Guilt, Only Pride. Indeed, a lot of 14s in the chat, which is fantastic. So after that, we went for break. I think it was break afterwards with that, but we went for break. Actually, what I'm just gonna do, I want to refill my water bottle because again, my throat is a little bit ticklish. I want to see if I can maybe play something again, just for a short period while I refill my water bottle, because like I said, my throat is kind of acting up a little bit. So it's a little bit better now, but again, just to make sure with that. So if I don't really need that anymore, so what to do is I'll come on here. I'll get onto. What I'm just gonna do, folks, is I'm just gonna play like maybe a short video or maybe a song, just for a little bit while I go and refill my water bottle, and of course I'll try and have it something white pilling as well. I don't want to make it like dark pill or black pilling or anything like that at all. Especially what we're going to be talking about as like we're going to be talking about for this episode about the conference. What would be an ideal clip to play, or maybe a song? Right. Sorry, folks. 1 second here. Music. Let's see if I could play a song again, just for a little bit, and then. What song? Sorry, just 1 second here. Right, I'm just gonna. If you guys wouldn't mind, I'm gonna play this song again just for a little bit while I go away and refill my water bottle, and then I'll come back and then I'll finish off with the second half of the conference. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a song for you guys to listen to for now. That song I'll be playing is by Zurius featuring Hyrith, and the song's called "Keep in Mind." Again, this song was played on the show, many times. Play bridges, not walls. Refill your water bottle, of course. It's not alcoholic, English Rose. I'll say that. I know I'm Scottish, but I know there is that stereotype of the drunk Scotsman, but it's not alcoholic whatsoever. So right, I'll just mute myself as well, and I'll play the song, and I'll be back in just a moment. So bear with me just now, folks. 1 sec.
Yes, we want to be free, live our lives as they should be. Here's the thing, well, that's nice. Every action has a price. We're meant to be much more than this, and find a home which we all miss. So it's time to grow up as we're ticking down the clock. Forever keep in mind, we're fighting for our kind, to learn from those before, our future made secure. We were meant to survive, to transcend, go forth and thrive. Find the light, leave behind all the things.
If the video pauses, that should be right there. Perfect. And I'll come back onto here. I'll keep that open just in case. But anyway, I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. I had to refill my water bottle. It's purely water. And yes, I just thought I need this because, again, my throat was a little bit ticklish. So I just thought I would need that just now. So it was also maybe a perfect segue into the second part of the stream in terms of the second half of the conference, which consists of 3 more speakers, and I think that was pretty much it after that. But I'll get to that in just a moment. Anyway, let's get right into the second part. In fact, before I do that, I'm just going to open this up again. Bad habit for me to do that. It's not vodka. It's certainly not alcoholic. So anyway, the second half of the conference. So we all had a bite to eat for lunch. It's actually a pretty decent lunch, I must say. Never really expected anything much when it comes to like lunch breaks or anything like that with these conferences, because from my past experience, the food has been, okay, but normally you would wait until probably towards the end where you have an evening meal. And even the evening meal, it can be like hit or miss with any of these conferences. But of course, that's beside the point. But the lunch we had, again, was actually pretty decent. I would have maybe preferred if there was maybe a much wider range than what we had. What there was, from what I've seen anyway, in terms of the main courses, were you were offered soup. The chicken and sauce was really good. It was Run Spedo. Thank you very much for watching Mood of the Nation. I'll just actually get to that in a sec, because the first thing the staff offered were soup. Now I'm not too sure if it was like many different soups that were there, but the one that we were offered was a soup called, I think it was like broccoli soup, if I'm not mistaken. I think even there might be something like a different soup, but from what we were given, it was something like broccoli soup, and I was like, "Nah, that doesn't sound really appetizing." Plus, it was like all green, and I was like, "Nah, it looks like vomit you would see on The Exorcist." So no, I was not really a fan of that idea whatsoever. Deep fried soup, I wish. Being a Scottish affair, did you all have a big fight at the end? No, we did not actually. It's funny you would say that, but no, there was no any fights or anything like that at all, being like a Scottish conference. But anyway, so I didn't have the soup. What I did have instead, of course, was like the main meal. So because it's a buffet, so I wasn't too sure if it was a buffet, but it was like an all-you-can-eat buffet, or if it like you took a plate, and then once you had your meal, then that was it, you were done. But what I had was the chicken haggis soup. I wish. I actually would have preferred a haggis. I know it's not really real, but I would have preferred a haggis soup over broccoli soup any day, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, the main course meal, there was chicken, but there was like a certain sauce with it. But even then, I thought that it was actually really nice. And other than that, there were fish. Like fish, you would normally get a chippy, like barred fish and all of that. Again, it was actually really nice. I really did enjoy that. And Musalami, I don't know if it was maybe, but we had a fight at my wedding. Luckily, me and the missus had already left at the time. Boers versus Brits, you can't make it up. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, it's nice to hear that you left after that happened with your wedding. So, but I don't know why people would fight, especially at events like that. But anyway, I guess it happens. It happens. I guess with that. But those were the only two I had to eat. There was chicken with the sauce. There was I said fish or battered fish, and then there was like pasta, but with like a certain pasta sauce with it, like the red sauce. So I thought, well, I'm quite hungry, so I might as well just have that with it, which I know that may be a bit of an odd option to have. So basically, my plate consists of chicken, fish, and like pasta with tomato sauce. I mean, again, might seem a bit of an odd option, but again, I was quite hungry, so I might as well just have something with it. Sure, there were other things. There were maybe potatoes, and I think there was like sweet corn that were there. Um, but I wasn't really too like, fussed with that, so I just have what I think I would normally have, and it was actually pretty decent. I really did enjoy the meal. So I was at my funeral where they observed a minute's violence. Right? Oh dear, oh dear. So we had that for lunch, and then we all went back to the venue, and we carried on the rest of the day. So we all sat down. We all got back to our tables and our seats, and it was time for the next set of speakers. Now the not third of the third would have been Gordon Freeman. The fourth speaker of the day was the special guest speaker, and I will say this when it comes to the special guest speaker. I actually was quite surprised that he was coming along and give a speech for a PA conference. You had three main courses, definitely Scottish. Yeah, indeed. Again, it's actually really nice. But the special guest speaker, I was quite surprised. I didn't think he would actually come along, but I know he appeared on. I know he did streams with some people within PA, mainly Mark and Laura. I know he was featured on one PWR episode fairly recently. Deep fried battered Mars bars for dessert. We didn't really. I don't think it was really. I mean, there was cakes for desserts or maybe some fruit, but no, there wasn't any deep fried battered Mars bar as for dessert. Normally, when it comes to these venues, of course, you would get more like proper, like not necessarily posh sounding food, but they try to make it as pleasing for the general public who are either going there to visit or maybe staying there for a night or two at this hotel. Although it would be quite funny to have like a deep fried battered Mars bar. I've never actually had that, so hold on a second. From Pharaoh Phoenix, just real quick. Have you noticed a growing group of men dropping out of society? It seems to be a growing trend in the West. Well, yeah, I would agree. Just kind of touching this a little bit. Yeah, I think it's all part of the what does it people call it? It's the not the feminization of men, but the emasculating aspect of men. So basically, teaching boys not to grow up to be full-bred men, but have them to become weak and more effeminate. I think there's a case of that that's going around within Western society. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that, to be honest. And it's shameful, but it's actually funny that you brought that up, because part of Gordon Freeman's speech was actually partly what it was about with this speech. I don't want to spoil like too much about his speech, but what he was talking about was about manhood and about like what society has become nowadays. It's just filled to the brim with degeneracy and all of that. And how it's not just affecting men of society, but it's also affecting women of society. And again, I don't want to spoil too much about what he said in the speech, but hopefully when the speech comes out, I'm sure people can definitely check it out and then see what I'm on about, because again, it's a really great speech what he gave. That's meant to be an even bigger problem in Japan, even without feminism / multiculti. I know it's quite bizarre, that isn't it, for Japan? Lol, I was only joking about the Mars bars. My son ate one once and he said it was delicious, to be honest. Fair enough. Again, I've never tried a deep fried Mars bar myself, but I'll definitely want to try one at some point in the near future. So Hold on one second. I received a donation. Hold on one sec. I just want to have a look at this just now. Fantastic. I'm not going to read out the person's name, obviously, because it's their real name, of course. But this person has given me £5 of donation, which is now. So to the person who donated £5 to me just now, thank you very much for that. I greatly appreciate that. Again, if you guys want to contribute to the show, or my work in general, or even activism, I'm going to be doing it in the near future. Any donation I receive would be greatly beneficial, of course. Like any amount would do, if would be greatly appreciated. Oh shit! Never tried. Honestly, never tried one before. But anyway, sorry. Going back to the second part of the conference. So the second part for the fourth speaker was a special guest speaker. Now, as I said, he does his own live streams. He has his own show, and that gentleman is none other than David Clues from Unity News Network. Again, this isn't like a major spoiler because it's already been showcased within the Telegram post. So. But again, he was actually a person I was really shocked and surprised that he would be there. But I mean, I know he had Mark and Laura featured on his show at one time. I know David went on to PWR fairly recently, so I was like, so then to hear that he was going to be the special guest speaker, I remember thinking, so is he definitely maybe on our side completely, or maybe not? Sorry, excuse me. Maybe not necessarily on our side, but maybe he's more like sympathetic towards our side, but he might not necessarily agree with us, but he's willing to cooperate with us and maybe work with us in the future. I mean, if it's going to be like that, then, I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that, regarding to that. So, but he was the fourth overall speaker. And again, his speech, his delivery is actually, his way of delivery is very similar to how he delivers what he normally talks about on his show, and even side videos he would post on Telegram and other places. But again, his speech was really good. He talked about his time before he did UNN, where, again, I don't want to really spoil too much because I want people to see the speech for themselves. But again, he talks about how he got into politics and all of that. David Clues, or how his surname is spelled, is a good speaker to have. Yeah, indeed, he was a fantastic speaker, and hopefully by the time his speech comes out, hopefully people will give that a watch and see for themselves, and even hopefully people might enjoy his speech with that. But again, he was mainly talking about how he got into politics. He's a Sipnat for now. Well, I mean, yeah, he's a Sipnat for now, but I will give him credit. He's actually one of the few Sipnats who actually will engage in a conversation with us nationalists. He's not like cower away or anything like that at all. He actually will give us a platform to speak and give our opinions across with that. Which, I mean, for that, to be fair to the guy, that does take a lot of balls to do something like that. You will never see someone like, I don't know, like Sargon of Akkad, or like, Count Dankula, or any one of those people, or Tommy Robinson, or anyone for those people from that side of the right wing, if you want to call it that. Giving people like us a platform and just speak our minds out what we truly believe in. So again, to give David credit, it does take a lot of balls to do something like that, and to come to an actual PA conference and give a speech out. Again, you can't really ask for more. It does take a lot of balls to do that. UNN was a decent channel till it got yeeted. I think they're mainly on DLive most of the time. I'm sure maybe even Odysee as well. But yeah, he gave a speech. I think part of his speech, again, without spoiling anything, but he talks about how his show got a lot more popular during COVID, because I think that's how many people got not in contact, but how they got to know the channel of UNN because of the whole COVID scandal that was going on just now. And again, it was just really great stuff. Again, without spoiling anything, hopefully by the time the speeches come out, you'll give it a watch and of course see for yourselves with that. And that was that for. I'm actually starting to think now whether or not I've got the timeline a bit wrong. So I'm not too sure whether or not if I don't know if I actually got maybe the timeline wrong. Actually, now that I think of it, because there was another break, but this break was much shorter. It was about maybe like a half an hour like tea break. It wasn't like a lunch break or anything like that at all. But I'll just maybe skip past that part because then we get into the last two speakers. The fifth speaker overall was Samelia. Now again, well, there was a bit of a I don't know if they might actually record this for the start of the videos, but you know how, of course, we all know for that during Indigenous Peoples Day or for White Lives Matter, we all know that PA Yorkshire won this year and not PA Scotland. Well, considering that both Sam and Laura, and I think a couple of other members from PA Yorkshire were there as well, came and visit. Obviously, there's a sense of like passing the trophy or passing the torch from one, from. Oh no! Wait, sorry. 1 second. Didn't Sai speak before Sam? Oh, that's right. That's right. Run Spano. Sorry, I was thinking. Wait, hold on a minute. Indistinguishable, Evan Keel, Gordon Freeman. No, you're right. I think because Sai was actually like another like a speaker as well. So maybe there was like 7 overall. Yeah, that would explain with the photograph of all the speakers together. So yeah, that actually would make a lot of sense. Yeah. So it was Sai. I think Sai spoke after David Clues. Yes, it was Sai, and so I think yes, that's how it was. I think it was David Clues, and then it was Sai, and then we went out for a shorter break, and then we were going to listen to the last two speakers. That's it. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, thank you, Ron Smedo. Like, I was just thinking, was there maybe another person that was saying, and then of course you mentioned Sai. Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. So, Sai's speech. Again, really good stuff. I don't think this was his first ever speech. I think I'm pretty sure he did give a speech at the last year's conference, if I'm not mistaken. But no, nevertheless, he gave a really good speech for this year's conference, and I was really happy with that. So he was willing to speak at a PA event. Event can only be a good sign. Yeah, of course. And maybe that can actually, when it comes to going back to David Clues real quick, I was happy that David Clues was able to come and give a speech, because maybe, you never know, maybe at some point in the future, whether it be a future PA Scotland conference or maybe just a general PA like national conference, like the actual big main conference, if you will, maybe more of these people who don't necessarily agree with everything we stand for, but they maybe are open to cooperate with us, or maybe open to work with us in the near future. I thought Political Not Correct gave. Oh no, is it Correct Not Political? Anyway, I thought Correct Not Political gave PA a good interview recently. They seem a good bunch. Yeah, they all seem a really good bunch. So I do hope that definitely opens the door for maybe more of those people to come along. Again, not necessarily ethno-nationalists, or might not necessarily agree with everything we stand for, but maybe it does open Correct Not Political. That's it, Mouse Cat. But hopefully it will open the door for more of those people to maybe come along and maybe, again, not necessarily fully side with us, but maybe they'll work with us or maybe cooperate with us, and then maybe for like the bigger picture kind of an idea. So hopefully, you can only hope with that. So maybe that might open the door for that. So a PA, it's a knockout tournament would be fun. That would be kind of fun, to be fair. That would be kind of fun. So again, David Close gave a great speech. Sai gave a fantastic speech. I really enjoyed that. It was mainly, I think, again, without spoiling anything, he was mainly talking about what was going on in his life I think it was around about this year, if I'm not mistaken. And I think really the overall theme of his speech was fully coming out and saying, look, this is who I am. I'm Cyborg, but this is who I really am, and all this and that. And I'm proud to be part of PA. I think that was the basic gist of it. I did try to pay attention to his speech, but of course, me was watching for the door, because the guy I was working with, part of security, he had to go and answer a call a few times, so I had to be in charge of the door and make sure when the door was knocking, would it be people who were in the conference hall and wanted to come back in, I would make sure that the door was open for them and all of that. So I did try and pay attention to Sai's speech, but I'm sure. No, he didn't. It's not like that, Toby. No, no, it's not like that at all. Not whatsoever. So hopefully, once his speech is, I'm pretty sure it'll get uploaded onto the PA Scotland Odysee channel. Maybe I can actually give that fully a proper listen and a proper watch with that. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed that nonetheless. So we had a short break, and that's when we get to the last two speakers. So the fifth, well, I say fifth. So hold on. Indistinguishable, Evan Keel, Gordon Freeman. So that's three. David Clues, Cyborg. That's five. Right. So the sixth speaker of the conference, the second last speaker of the conference, was Sam Melia, of course, being part of the regional organizer of PA Yorkshire. And as I talked about before, PA Yorkshire won this year's Indigenous Peoples Day for White Lives Matter, not Scotland, unfortunately. And of course, there was, as I said, there was the passing the trophy from Scotland to Yorkshire. I'm pretty sure that might be within the video clips which will be for people to see if they want to. And of course, yeah, that would be quite funny for people to watch for themselves. But Sam, again, just like with his previous speech at I think it was the Northern Conference, he gave a speech for PA. Because I know he gave a speech during then, and again, it was just fantastic stuff. I would say probably it's the second. Sam's speech was, I think, in my opinion, is the second best speech of the day. Of course, my personal favorite of the day being Gordon Freeman's, but Sam's was probably the second best speaker of the day. His speech was fantastic. I don't think anyone really could ask for more with that. So that was his speech done and dusted. Again, I'm trying to maybe say less about the speeches because I want people to see or listen to them for yourselves. By the time they all come out on again, I'm pretty sure it'll be the PA Scotland, the official PA Scotland Odysee channel. So the seventh and last speaker of the day was supposed to be Mark Collett, but I'm not going to mention really too much of what happened, but he was supposed to come along and be not only to be like to be part of the venue and join in with everyone else, but he was also meant to be given a speech. Of course, him being the leader, the founder and leader of Patriotic Alternative, he unfortunately couldn't come due to. I think it was like a family emergency. Again, I don't want to say anything too much. I don't think it was anything. From what I've heard, anything too serious or anything like that at all. But hopefully everything's okay within the Collett household or anything like that at all. But unfortunately, he would love to come, but he couldn't because of the situation that was happening at that time. So instead of Mark Collett, although his speech was there, but it was going to be read out by a completely different person, and that other person was none other than the deputy leader of Patriotic Alternative, Laura Towler, which is quite funny with the start of her delivery for Mark's speech, where she started off with Mark's usual intro, which consists of hello everybody. So these people. I think that's what he normally says anyway, but no, Laura took over Mark's place to give up the speech. So it was a speech that was written by Mark Collett, but again he couldn't make it, so Laura was the one to take over and read his speech for him. Again, good speech. And I think it was going to be a good speech, especially the delivery was going to be good nonetheless, because being Laura Towler, she's given out many speeches in the past before, so it was really no much of a surprise that she was going to be the replacement. If there was going to be a replacement for Mark when it comes to something like that, then I think ideally it would be someone like Laura Towler. But anyway. Anyway, sorry, just one second. Just seeing like another Wow. Never expected this. I believe that this person, I know who it is, but I think it's from Roscoe in the chat. I think it might be Roscoe, but again, another donation I received today, folks. Roscoe has sent me £10 of donation. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. And he writes, "Keep up the good work, bud, and get some strip cells." Thank you very much, Roscoe. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much. Again, folks, I greatly appreciate the kind of generosity when it comes to the donations. I greatly appreciate that with that. So, anyone who else who would like to contribute to the show financially, again, the links for coffee will be in the chat just now, or again, or even PayPal directly. They'll be in the description down below. Any amount will be greatly appreciated, of course, and thank you very much for that. Anyway, back to the conference. Laura read out Mark's speech. Great stuff nonetheless. And that was pretty much it. The conference came to an end. It was a fantastic way to end the conference. By the end of the conference, of course, everyone was. I don't think everybody was getting up and leaving. I think we were all staying around and basically talking to each other, networking, and all of that. I was kind of like maybe in the sideline, maybe helping out with with the security aspect with that. Although I was then asked to maybe help out with the photography. Now I'm part of I do help out with certain things for PA Scotland when it comes to like the media or anything like that at all. But basically, I'm not too sure who it was, whether it be Kenny or Sai or anyone else for that matter. They've asked me if I could help out with the photography. So if people want to take their photographs taken, of course, some of them to use their phones to get these photographs for the conference. But most of the time, they've asked me if I can use my phone to take photographs of whether it be regional groups who are there or maybe just people individually and all of that. Again, just to take photographs. I was like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a master photographer, but okay, I'll help out with that nonetheless. So I took photographs for people. It would be like certain groups of people, whether it be a small amount, big amount, you name it, kind of an idea. And yeah, that was it was a great thing for that to do. So I think even they've asked me because my phone being an Android phone, I think it's a Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. I think it is, to be specific. This particular phone is actually really good quality for images, and that's partly why they would ask me if I could maybe take some photographs or maybe some photography or maybe some videography or filming some videos for PA most of some of the time, because my camera is actually a pretty decent camera. So I was like, yeah, why not? So that was that done and dusted. We started tidying up a little bit. Some people were going away because they had to get back at a certain time. I think it was that. There were some people who were going to be staying around, obviously for like a quick chief wind the lights back up. That would be the sun, maybe get it dimming down. But next thing, chief was asked to help decorate the event. No, I don't think I would be the master decorator, to be honest with you. I think that would be a certain other person whose name I won't mention, but I think I think people will know who I'm referring to in regards to that. But all I'll say is I'm not going to mention like his name, but not to be cheeky or anything with that at all, but he's quite not fashionable, but he's very what would be the right word for it when it comes to like fashion and all of that, but he's quite maybe extravagant. I don't know if that might be the right word for it. Bear with me just 1 minute, folks. I'm going to see if I can maybe sort out the lighting if I can. Might not be the best, but the reason why the lighting was all right was because it was still sunny outside, and I think that's the sun maybe dimming down, which will, of course, be the sunset. But anyway, let me see if I can. That might be all right. I don't know if it will be, but if not, I think I'm coming to the end of telling the story about the conference anyway. So I don't think it'll be too much to go by. So yeah, I mean, it might not be the best, but. See a minute. 1 sec. Sorry, folks. See see if I can maybe sort this out a little bit here and there. Oh crap. I keep forgetting that torch is like, well, the bottom of it is magnetic, but anyway, that's that's beside the point. Right then. Is that any better? Oh yeah, it's not too bad, but yeah, there we go. No, maybe not flamboyant, stylish. Yeah, very stylish. I'll say that. Not flamboyant, because flamboyant means it's one of ooh, but he's not like that at all. Not whatsoever. Very stylish gentleman. He quite suave. Yeah, that's another right word for it. Indeed. Slick as a right word as well. Refined. Yep, absolutely. So, I think you'd be the ideal person when it comes to decorating, when it comes to that, especially when it comes to fashion. So. But anyway, that's beside the point with that. Now, there were plans. Once the whole the conference was a success, and in this case, it was a success. There was a lot of talks about whether or not if we're going to be going out for an evening meal and maybe have a couple of drinks here and there, because some people were going to be staying at like another hotel that was not too far away to the area, but it's a type of idea. But for me, I couldn't stay around much longer. I had to go back and go back home afterwards. One of the plans, if a case of like that, if there was going to be a case of we were all going to be going for an evening meal and all of that, and if the trains were functioning or were actually going on, I could maybe stay around and maybe have an evening meal, maybe have a couple of drinks here and there. But unfortunately, as we know, I don't know if this is only in Scotland or this is going on throughout the entirety of the UK, but there's been a lot of strikes happening as of late here in Scotland, especially when it comes to train services. So the trains were not active yesterday, so maybe it was a bit harder for people to get down or anywhere like that at all. But the plan for me was that I would have loved to stay around a little bit longer to have an evening meal, maybe have a couple of drinks here and there, and then once it got a bit late, maybe about I wasn't going to stay out too long, of course. Maybe I'll leave Stirling and go back to where I live, back for maybe after 9, maybe 10ish if I can. Train strike was everywhere, right? That explains it. And then I would get a train back home, because a train journey from Stirling to where I live is about a 5 to 10 minute train journey. So I thought maybe that would be that would be ideal. ScotRail is shocking, to be fair. Trust me, I know that's fair enough. Yeah, it's very shocking indeed. But unfortunately, the train services were not on. So I think it was maybe a more not a better idea, but maybe a smart idea for me to get a lift from the guy I was driving with, or he was driving the car and I was in the passenger seat. Again, another person in question. I'm not mentioning their names because they're not a public figure, but they know who they are if they're watching. So, and yeah, that was that. So that was yesterday's conference, which again was a fantastic day. Hopefully, we'll be having another PA Scotland conference for next year. I'm not too sure if it's going to be in October, because what I've noticed with this year's conference and last year's conference. So last year's conference was on a Saturday, but it was the 2nd of October, if I'm not mistaken. This year's conference, of course, being yesterday, being a Saturday, the 1st of October. So maybe this is me looking way too deep into it, but I don't know whether or not if maybe, I'm sure it will still be a Saturday, but I'm not too sure whether or not if it will be maybe late September, maybe the start of October again. But again, I think it'll be a case of just let's just wait and see with that. But we'll see with that. What a fucking shitty transport system we have. Japan wouldn't put up with this train fuckery. I know Japan is way better train services than what's happening here in Britain. Absolutely, I definitely would agree with that. How can they ask for shorter hours? An hour is 60 minutes and always will be. Indeed it is. Indeed. But yeah, that concludes today's story about the conference when it comes to that. So yeah, it was a grand day. I'm sure we'll have another PA Scotland event for next year, the third one. I'm not too sure where exactly we might where it will be held for next year. But I'm sure there'll be maybe tons of ideas floating around even now. But and hopefully, even though it was a big turnout this year, again, I think there must have been maybe 60 or 70 people that were there. But hopefully more people will be coming along for next year's conference. And I hope for next year's conference will be a bigger one, especially being the third year in a row. So, but we'll just wait and see with that. We'll wait and see. And I would be really curious to see who will be the next speakers for next year's conference, especially the best special guest speaker. That would be really interesting to see. So, and also, I also want to give a bit of not a shout out, but maybe a mention as well to Kenny or Sai or anyone who's mainly in charge with these conferences, whether it be yesterday's one or maybe next ones for the near future. I just want to put this out there, of course. I gave a speech at the PA Spring Conference early this year, back in March. I thought it was pretty successful. Maybe there were a couple of things I could have done better with that speech, but I'm open to doing more speeches. So I don't want to come off as that guy, but I'm just saying, just saying, of course, for the future, if you're looking for speakers for the next conference, whether it be next year or the year after, for PA Scotland conferences, that is, then you know where to find me. You can just ask. You can ask me if you want, and I'll definitely say yes to it. So, because like I said, I enjoyed giving the speech for the spring conference for PA, and I'm open to doing more speeches in the near future. So, yeah, let's hope and see whether or not if I'll be the next speaker for next year's conference, or I mean, you never know. Again, it's not the case that they have to, of course. I mean, it's entirely up to themselves who they want up for the speakers, for like future conferences and all of that. So it's entirely up to themselves with that. So, but I'm open to the idea. I'm just saying, I'm open to the idea with that. Good lot of people there, Chief. Yeah, indeed, a lot of good people there. Really good people there. Definitely. Ugly truth. I once went on a stag do made up mostly of rail staff. Biggest bunch of fuckwits I ever encountered. I feel way less safe on trains since. Oh dear. Suki Bacon. Hamza will be next year's surprise speaker. That would be kind of funny though. That actually would be pretty funny that like he was kind of misled in thinking it's like a pro SMP conference, but then when he walks in, it's all PA. He's just like, "What the fuck is this?" That'd be really funny. That would be quite funny. That. Although that being said, when it comes to special guest speakers, I'm actually curious because now with David Clues being a special guest speaker for this year's conference, I'm actually curious to see who would actually be maybe the next special guest speaker for next year's conference. That's going to be quite Red Hat Chief Horn himself around. Oh dear. Owen Jones giving a talk next year. I mean, again, I maybe it's a case he'll be misled, and then when he actually gets to the conference, he'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" Not having you as a speaker is a missed opportunity. To be fair, oh well, thank you. I mean, I don't think it'd be like a missed opportunity. I mean, again, I would imagine there'd be many people who would give great speeches. I mean, this year's PA Scotland conferences, there were great people who gave great speeches. Regarding to yesterday's conferences. I mean, all I'm saying is, when it comes to like a future PA Scotland conference, or maybe even a future PA national conference, if they want me to be a speaker for the conference again, I'm open to the idea. And if they want me to come back give another speech, I'd be very happy to do that, for any future conferences with that. So I'm just saying, of course. But that being said, it'd be really nice to see other people give a speech here and there for future events, of course. So Wolves should get involved with PA again. I mean, I don't know. I think that would be up to Wolves and maybe people within PA Scotland, whether or not if they would have him back or not. But that's not me really to decide with that. I mean, I think it would be interesting for Wolves to give or to be a special guest speaker for a future PA event, but I don't know. That's entirely up to the people who are the hosts of future PA Scotland conferences or any major PA national conferences in the near future. So, but yeah, anyway. You have better takes than David Clues, in my opinion. I mean, fair enough. I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that. Oh God, Roscoe, you must do speeches with the cowboy hat on. I mean, that would be quite funny. I was actually, now that you mention that, Roscoe, I was actually kind of, I was thinking, right. So Mark asked me to give a speech for the spring conference earlier this year, back in March, and I was thinking, oh, like, should I maybe bring a cowboy hat for it, or maybe should I not? I mean, it would be kind of funny, but um, I don't know if maybe that might make a complete arse of myself. But I would see the idea of actually poking fun of Hope Not Hate, because I would imagine back in that Hope Not Hate report back in November of last year, I kind of thought of it as like when they used that photograph of me as a way of trying to use it as a form of mockery, like making fun of me. Oh, here's Stephen Thompson, or or Chief Moody, as he's known online, and look what a massive idiot he is. And then if I were to maybe give a speech at a conference here and there, and I would wear the hat, it would be like a sense of defiance, like kind of poking fun of Hope Not Hate. It's like, well, howdy, y'all. Actually, you know what? If they asked me to do a speech, I might actually think about maybe considering doing that as like a way of poking fun of Hope Not Hate, and maybe even in a future speech. I don't know if I might actually want to do this, but if there's any particular topics I might want to discuss for a future speech, I can maybe bring up Hope Not Hate in terms of like detractors and all of that. But again, we'll see with that. I actually got a couple of ideas I want to do for future speeches. There's one speech I want to do, and it's about the SNP and what complete fraudsters they really are as a political party. But I think that would be a type of speech that would be best suited for PA Scotland conference in the near future, because again, SNP being Scottish, and of course it's PA Scotland, being again a Scottish event type of idea. And for and when it comes to Hope Not Hate, or maybe a part of the talking points for future speech, I can maybe use that for a future PA national conference with that. So virtue, not brains, right? And indeed. How about using your real name, Chief Moody? I mean, I could use my real name, but it's just because I've been using the pseudonym Chief Moody for a long time, and plus, even when I'm with a lot of people within these PA events, whether it be the PA summer camp or any conferences or anything like that at all, people normally refer to me as Moody. Now, got nothing against it whatsoever. Obviously, people know my name and all of that, but people tend to call me Moody because it's like, well, that's what I'm pretty much known online, and it's kind of like it's kind of like Millennial Woes or even Count Dankula. People know Millennial Woes is Colin Robertson, but people refer to him as Millennial Woes, or even just Woes for short. Same thing with Count Dankula. I mean, regardless of what you think about him, his real name is Marcus Meekin, but people just call him Dankula or Dank, that sort of idea. Or maybe even another example would be Mr. Macar. Again, regardless of what you think of him, Mr. Macker, people call him Mr. Macker, or even just Jim for short, because they've been watching his content for a long time, that sort of idea. So, I mean, Chief Moody is a cool AKA. Well, thank you very much. Even if Morgoth doxes himself, he'll always be Morgoth. Yeah, exactly. I think it's that idea. So I don't mind that people want to refer to me as my real name or anything like that at all. But I think Blackwater says it best. Even if Morgoth doxes himself, or anyone for that matter, they'll always be known as that pseudonym type of idea. So not that it bothers me, again, because people tend to call me Moody anyway. So it's like a nickname anyway. It's more than just Moody. Short for Chief Moody is basically like not just an abridged version of Chief Moody to begin with, but it's more than just a pseudonym. It's pretty much become like a nickname for me. Like, people call me Moody anyway, so there we go. Chief Moody is a good avatar, to be fair, but no need to hide anymore. Yeah, I know. I think I'm coming out a lot more anyway with that. So I hope that might explain that more thoroughly when it comes to that. So, if he used his real name, how could we say hail to the chief? Again, that's a great point, Rory Herbert. That's a really great point. So, I think with that part, it's entirely up to people, however they want to refer to me as. So that it's entirely up to them. So. Mm-mm. Anyway, what time is it? 6:30. I think I might stick around just for another couple of minutes. I'm going to see if I can find the links for future streams that are going to be live later on this evening, including Ragnar Iron Spears' stream. For the time being, what to do is, folks, if you want, might as well just do like a short Q&A type of idea. But hold on one sec. Bill laughing. I went leafleting once, and someone said to me, "Hello XYZ." I thought Bill was coming as well. I said, "I'm Bill." Fair enough. Fair enough. That's quite funny. That I'm Bill. Oh, okay. Yeah. As I was saying, if people in the chat want to ask me any questions, it can be anything at all. Just type in a question in the chat, or just type in the chat at Chief Moody and ask your question away. Any questions, I'll be very happy to answer them regarding to that. And again, that would be just for another few minutes, and then I'll see if I can find the links for Ragnar Iron Spears' stream and any other stream afterwards with that. So, oh, excuse me. Let's see here. That's fine with that part. Right, okay. First question I think is coming through by Roscoe. Who was worse dressed yesterday? I don't think anybody was worse dressed. Everybody who came to that conference yesterday were all smartly dressed. They were all dressed for the occasion. Not a single person dressed poorly or anything like that at all. Everyone dressed absolutely smartly. I mean, if I have to say so, regarding myself, again, people might have seen me in the suit. I was wearing the same suit I was wearing during the PA Spring Conference back in March this year. The only thing I didn't really had that I had really was like a smart like pair of shoes. I was wearing boots really, to be quite honest with that, but there were like smart casual type of boots, so it wasn't like, again, like out of the dress code or anything like that at all. So it was all fine and dandy with that in this case. So, Chief Reed, will you lend me a tenner? I mean, if you want, sure. I'm not too fussed with that whatsoever, our pal. So, Streaky Bacon, can you? What kind of question is this? Can you make me whole again? I really don't know what what do you mean by that, Streaky Bacon, but dear. English Rose, Chief Mini, when you wear a kilt, do you shave your legs? No, I don't. I think any guy who shaves their legs, I think, is extremely gay. I mean, there might be some cases where people, like guys who need to shave their legs, like very, very much so, but no, if I was wearing a kilt, I would not shave my legs. I think that's incredibly incredibly gay when it comes to that. But anyway, so suited and booted, the classic indeed from Ugly Truth. Our pal Len equal give. Again, that's fine with me. with that, I'm not too bothered with that whatsoever. So if you want a tenner, then just drop me a message and I'll see from there with that. So let me see. Just checking to see any updates. So yeah, while I'm waiting here for more questions, I'm gonna see if I can get that'll be on YouTube, the link for Ragnar Iron Spears' stream. That'll be at 7 p.m. And then I'll see if I can. Oh no, wait a minute, is he live already? Hold on a minute here. I don't want to stream snipe him, but wait a minute here. I didn't think he would be live already, but 1 second. Started 4 minutes ago. Maybe he started like earlier than expected.
The elections take place November 8th, so it's about 5 weeks from today.
Right, okay, I'll pause that there. I didn't expect him to be live already, but what I'll do is I'll just pop the link in the chat just now. So if people, oh, a guy, no, where's our pal? 1 second here. There we go. So that's the link for Ragnar Iron Spirits stream. So after this show ends, if you want to check him out, then definitely watch his stream afterwards. I thought maybe his stream would be at 7, but it looks like he's streaming a bit earlier than usual, which I mean, fair enough. Let me see. Like that song, Chief Bree, I think it's Girls Aloud. I'm guessing it's Sugar Babes. I assume there wasn't a drag queen story time for the kids. Chief Bree, can you throw a brick at next door's Jack Russell for me, please? I mean, if I could, I would. Ah, dear. Oh, dear. Let me see here. I think I really never expected them to be live already, but okay, fair enough. Yeah. I think maybe we'll answer a couple more questions and then I'll leave it there. And then please head on over to watch Ragnar Iron Spirits stream, and then that will be it for this evening. Oh yeah, while I'm waiting with that, let me see who else will be live tonight. I'm sure it would be either Scott's Armor or Resisting the Lies that will be live tonight, I think. Hold on a minute here. Correct, not political. Nah, that's for something entirely different. Let me see. No, that's not it. Phil Robertson. No, that's not it. Well, there's NHP UK TV. They'll be live at 7 p.m. if anyone's interested in that. Oh no, wait, sorry, that's not tonight. That's them live on the 6th of October. So that's going to be, what date would that be? That would be Thursday, right, at 7 p.m. Right, okay. Probably around about the same time when I go live at that time, or maybe slightly before me. But anyway. But no, I don't think there's anyone else. I think that's pretty much it. Ragnar Iron Spears is live at the moment. I'm sure maybe either Scott's Armor or Resisting the Lies will be live this evening because being a Sunday, but you never know. So anyway, I don't see any more questions coming through, which I mean, that's fine and dandy. I think what I'll do in that case, I think I'll just end the stream for today, and I'll be back, of course, for Thursday for episode 111. Of course, any issues or any updates or anything like that at all, I'll keep you guys posted for updates with that. Oh, one sec. Chief Freddy, can you stop Africans speaking aloud into their phones on buses, please? You just have to go around to and just say to them, like, could you please keep it down? If they don't, then yeah, I something that I can pretty much do, of course, with that. So, of course, let's see. Yeah, I think with that, I'll end the stream there tonight. I'm going to see if I can find a song to play us out with. What would be something Scottish? I know that, again, because tonight's episode was about the second PA Scotland annual conference, and I'll see if I can find a Scottish song about that. Maybe play that. Yeah, I might as well just play this song. Why not? Okay. Can you stop African? Yeah, why not? Why not? Anyway, folks, I think I'll come to the end. This will be the end of tonight's episode. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's stream. It was a bit longer than I actually would expected, so and that's really good for me to do with that. Like I said, the main topic at hand was about the PA Scotland conference that was held yesterday. And I hope everyone enjoyed the stream today. I should be back on Thursday with episode 111 of Mood of the Nation at 7:30. Like I said, anything updates or issues or anything with that at all, I'll keep you guys posted just to make sure with that. And one last thing to mention with that, of course, If you guys, as I said during the stream, if you guys, I greatly appreciate the donations I received today with the stream. Greatly appreciate that from the two guys earlier today. Greatly appreciate that. As I said, anyone else who would like to contribute to my work financially, you can always go to my Coffee page or even PayPal me directly, and those links will be in the description down below. Any donation received, would greatly appreciate that. Of course, I greatly appreciate your show with regard to that, or your support. I should say with that. Glad the conference went well. Have a good week. Same to yourself, Daniel Doom. Thank you overall very much. A great stream as always. Please take care, everyone. Same to yourself, English Rose. Thank you very much for being here, and everyone else for showing up for that matter. Good stuff, Chief 14. Thank you very much, our pal. So I'll leave off tonight's episode with this song called "Donald Wears Your Trousers." A very classic Scottish song. I think it's a perfect song to end the show with, again, being like a very Scottish themed episode. So thank you all very much for coming along. This is Chief Moody signing out. You have been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast, and I will see you all in the next episode, of course. Thank you all. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Thank you all once again, and I'll see you all next time. Take care and good night. Thank you.
I've just come down from the Isle of Skye. I'm no very big and I'm awfully shy. The lassies say as I go by, Donald, where's your trouser? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I'll go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trouser? Now I went to a fancy ball and it was slippery in the hall. And I was feared that I might fall, for had me on the cruiser. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I'll go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets in my kilt I'll go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers? Now he went down to London town to have a little fun on the underground. The ladies turned their heads around saying, Donald, where are your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets of McKinn's I'll go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers? The lassies love me, everyone, but let them catch me if they can. Can he take a breach over hill and man, saying, Donald, where's your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets of McKinn's I'll go. All the lassies say hello. Donald, where's your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets of McKinn's I'll go. All the lassies say hello.